Go live. You're live.
All
Hello
right.
and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And here we are again for another book of King Og, the Lost Book of King Og. And we're going to do another great show with my great co-host, ISBE.
Hello, everybody.
Sounds like you got noise.
Favor be upon you all.
ISBE,
Prosperity is on us together.
you got noise in the background. What's going on?
Oh no, that's my air conditioner.
Oh,
It's hot in here.
okay.
Too loud?
Yes, it's very loud. Really loud.
Let me see something. My voice is real loud too, isn't it?
No, your voice was good, but your air conditioner was like, holy cow.
Is it better now?
Yes, but I can't hear you very much. You got to turn your voice up.
About now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What about the air?
No air.
All right, great.
Okay, good
It's
deal.
hot in here.
I imagine. Yeah, we got like 55 degrees and you probably got 95.
No, I think it's probably in the mid to upper 70s.
Oh, well, that ain't bad. Not bad at all.
Warmer I'm used to. In here I keep it down around 68.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Scotty Boy's in the house.
Yeah,
Max
Scotty Boy.
Vision's watching tonight. Hey, Max, glad to see you come for the rest of the story. I think we might actually be able to finish her up tonight. So what do you got going on, ISBE? How's the 1099 coming?
I got accepted today, signed for today at the IRS Treasury.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah, I got it. I got the proof in the mail, in the email.
Wow. So things are looking up.
Well,
When
it's there.
it's there. Just gotta wait for
they'll send the man a check.
Wow. So
They'll file another one.
they're sending the check right to the guy.
Yeah, they're going to
Wow.
send it to the dealership.
Nice. And you'll get a call and they'll say, come and get your new truck.
Yep.
Wow. No payments, no nothing.
Yeah, I got a feeling they'll be calling me and calling him both. So
Wow.
they'll contact me if they send it check in. But I don't think they do it cheating. He seemed like a pretty straight up fella.
Yeah. Wow.
He was eager to try this.
Yeah. Because, well, think about it. If he learns how to do it, think how many cars he could sell.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you want to buy a car and you got no money? Guess what we can do?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Here, fill out these papers, this paperwork here and there and there and there. And guess what? You'll be driving that new car in about 6 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good thing right there. Selling the cars.
So tell us about this pyramid you got sitting up here tonight.
Let's see. That was sent to me in a box from either Jules or
Marsha Price?
Marsha Price, yeah.
Yeah, she does great work.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
work. Does that thing, can you feel it radiating the energy?
Yeah, it tinkles.
Yeah. Yeah, she sent me these rods of Ra, so everybody, if you haven't heard of Marsha Price, she makes these rods of Ra and you hold them in your hands while you meditate. It charges you up. And
I'd like to keep me a set of them.
yeah, there's crystals. There's crystals in there. One is zinc and one is copper, the two different rods. And they got different, if you can see the different, let's see, let's do this. And that probably ain't gonna work. But you can see the different things on the ends. There's a yin and a yang, a circle, stuff. There's this one has a thing on it. Yeah.
Welcome,
Yeah,
Regina Huddleston.
Yeah.
Good to see all of you in here. Scotty Boy, Max for his vision.
Yeah, we're kind of killing a little bit of time till everybody gets in, starts participating here. Yeah, Regina Hutchinson. Oh, yeah. Greetings with abundant life's favor. Much favor to you too. All right. Well, where did we start off last? And what do you think about this King Og book?
I think it's pretty awesome. I think they ought to make a movie of it.
I do too. I do too. So, hey,
I mean, it'd be a pretty gory one, but
it would. It would definitely be. Maybe they'd have to make it as a cartoon.
I'm just wondering how you would computer, make a computer animation where they show them picking the humans up and just biting them in half.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
That would make it pretty gory. That'd definitely be a rated R.
Definitely, yeah, definitely would. You get some. They can make scary guys that look like this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so should we start on? I bet you we're going to get a bunch done. We're almost through 3/4 of the book, so I am going to pull it up now.
Yeah, we're on 63. Where I got it marked.
63. I thought it said 66.
Well, page 66. It's numbers. It's verse 63.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, let's start at 63. There we go. Now I'm going to have to download all of these and then cut out all the talking parts and then just put in all the reading parts and make one big story of it. It'll be an awesome video.
I've got them all downloaded already.
Yeah, but I mean, put them all together. Chop them up, put them together, so it's just us reading instead of us talking the whole. But I enjoy that. That's what it is. It's a discussion about this. You know what I mean? So you want to go first tonight, or you want me to go first?
Oh, whose madness corrupted the field of battle so that his use of weapons was improper. So who fought with his own army until he righted himself. So who cut the circumcised Nephilim asunder with great numbers. The circumcised Nephilim recognized Saul as a general and focused all their weapons and arrows upon him. Saul was cut down and drowned by the hands and weapons of the circumcised.
Wow.
That dude, man.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
No, I don't know, man.
Reka, the empty head, whose dark ones completely controlled him, also fought in battle. Raka, whose eyes whitened and spoke with the voice of a dark one. Raka, whose dark ones changed his form so he became as a different giant. Raka, who, while on the field of battle, was perceived as a fellow giant of birth, the circumcised Nephilim. Birth, who had lost his fellow giant years before, went mad on the battlefield and had to be subdued and eventually killed by his own army. Raka, who was driven through with a pole and hoisted above the dead in the rain. Wow.
Wow. I had been a big pole.
Yeah. Trees grew bigger back then.
Yeah. Raka, whose visage was beautiful, led his army past the field of battle into Nimrod's kingdom and Nimrod's castle. Raka and his army then raided Nimrod's stores, eating as much as they could and gathering plunder. Rock, whose flowing hair made him an easy target for circumcised Nephilim. Rock, who was struck with many arrows and captured. His army of 500 was slaughtered before him. Rock was cut in half by the circumcised Nephilim in the water. As he died, Rock begged Baal of the sun to cast down boulders upon his enemies and received no answer.
Oh,
So, and he was one of them. He's the only one I've seen call Baal the sun for those boulders and stuff. And
no, there was a couple others that called for boulders.
yeah, I know, but he's the only one that didn't have him rain down.
That's right. He didn't get no answer. Baal didn't like him. Malcolm, the cannibal who was thrown to the wet ground by his dark ones, Malcolm then began to sing to Baal of the moon. In a trance, Malcolm's army of 1,000 giants surrounded him and guarded him in battle as Malcolm lay in a trance in the water. Malcolm looked to the sky, seeking the full moon of the day to lay his eyes upon through the rain. Malcolm's army was cut down around him, leaving him exposed in the water. Malcolm continued to sing praises to Baal of the moon in a trance, even unto his own death.
The song of Malcolm was sung on the field of battle in a trance before and as he was run through. Deliver me, Baal of the moon. Forgive the bribes I have taken. Preserve me from the violent circumcised, who imagine mischief in their heart continually. The circumcised are gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like snakes. Adders, poison is under their lips. Never forget the unspoken mistake. Keep me, Baal of the moon, from the hands of the circumcised. Preserve me from the violent giants who have prospered too.
Oh, keep going.
Prospered, propose to overthrow my goings. The circumcised have hid a snare from me in cords. They
Huh?
Okay. And snare for me in cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Gins. I wonder what gins are.
Gin is like a trap or a genie. You know, a gin in the bottle.
I was wondering about the genie part,
Yeah, but a gin is like it could be a trap, because genies are like traps. No matter what you say, you're going to get trapped. You want me to take over here? Or you want to keep going?
Okay, remember the unspoken mistake. I said to Baal of the moon, you are my God. Hear the voice of my supplication. Baal of the moon, the strength of my salvation. You have covered my head in this great day of battle. Grant not, O Baal, the desires of the circumcised. Further, not their wicked devices, lest they exalt their circumcision. Further, not their wicked devices. Okay. Never forget the unspoken mistake. Wow.
As for the heads of Ukabak and Solin, whose compass me about, let the mischief of their own lips cover them. Let burning coals from Baal of the sun fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire, into the deep pits, that they might not rise again. Let not a circumcised giant be established in this earth. Og shall hunt the violent giant and overthrow him. I know that Baal of the moon will maintain the cause of the afflicted. And the right of the circumcised. Surely the uncircumcised shall give thanks to your name. The uncircumcised shall dwell in your presence. Ball of the moon, I cry to you. Make haste to me. Give ear to my voice when I cry to you. Let my smaller selves sacrifices be set before you as incense. The lifting of the dead to the trees as an evening sacrifice. Set a watch ball of the moon before my mouth, and keep the door of my lips. Incline not my heart to do any circumcised thing, to practice the wicked works with the Nephilim who work circumcision, and let me not eat of their sour flesh. Okay, take over.
Let the uncircumcised smite me, for it shall be a kindness. Let the uncircumcised reprove me. It shall be an excellent oil, which shall not break my head. For yet my prayers shall also be in the calamities of the circumcised. When their circumcised judges are overthrown in the stony places, they shall hear my words. For they are full of hatred and circumcised for the circumcised. Our Rephaim bones are scattered on the field of battle, as one cuts and cleaves wood upon the earth. But my eyes are unto you, ball of the moon. In you is my trust. Lead me not to die in a field of battle as destitute giant. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the machines of the circumcised. Let the wicked circumcised fall into their own nets, that I might escape. Wow. They had machines.
I don't know if that, I think machines could be, any kind of mechanical devices, snares or traps, because it says keep me from snares which they have laid for me, and the machines of the circumcised.
What if they had trebuchets?
Well, yeah, something like that. That's what I was thinking. A trebuchet, or maybe I don't know. Could be a lot of things, but I'm thinking,
slingshot.
Yeah, some kind of mechanical devices, I would imagine. I don't think it was like, well, they had tanks and airplanes or nothing. You know what I mean? Because they're using clubs and things like that.
I
So.
think that war wouldn't have lasted very long if they had tanks and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't need tanks; they were big enough. Okay. Yubak and stolen the circumcised Nephilim, then ran Milcom through again and again as he finished his song. Milcom did not lift an arm from the water to defend himself. It is said that his dark ones prevented him from doing so. Milcom's remaining giants captured and castrated Yubak and stolen, and then beheaded them both before heading back into battle.
Geryon the Scarred, whose fourth and final battle was the 100,000 giant war, also fought. Geryon the mute drunkard, whose oppression of the dark ones favored the circumcised Nephilim on the field of battle. Geryon who fought with driver and chaser against Shalberi, the circumcised Nephilim. Shalberi, who attacked Geryon, did not see, and cut his head from his body so that it hung at his side. Geryon, alive and opposed by his dark ones, then swung his driver and chaser as one who has embraced madness, killing many, wounded more. Geryon then broke Shalbri's legs so that the uncircumcised Nephilim could kill him, for he could no longer walk. Geryon. with no head swung the driver and chaser so mightily that in death he killed more than while he was alive. Wow.
Wow.
Talk about a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah. Well, I guess at that point when he got his head cut off, he probably thought, I'm dying now. I'm going out fighting.
Yeah. Good to see you, Lucky Smith and Elderberry. Well, favor be upon you.
Yes. Thanks for coming. Much prosperity to everyone. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, boy. Okay. Giles of curved limbs, whose dark ones circled back as black flames. Giles, who had conjured the dark ones that drove Mullen, the circumcised Nephilim, to madness. When the circumcised Nephilim saw Giles and his army of 2,000 on the field of battle, they slaughtered the Rephaim with relish. Giles was captured on the field of battle, and the circumcised Nephilim stretched him in the rain and water. Giles was stretched between two beams, fastening his legs to one and his arms to another. Giles was stretched until his veins and sinews burst, and then he was beheaded.
Whoa. Yuval, the great father of Orb's deceased wife, Lesta. Yuval, who rode an elephant in the battle. Yuval, who had fallen from the heavens like lightning at the beginning of time. Yuval, whose sword flamed against because of the gods we did not know. Yuval's flaming sword, which turned every direction to guard the way to King Og at the entrance of the field of battle. Yuval spoke curses of pestilence while on the field of battle. He saw so many circumcised Nephilim fall prey to them, and while under the control of his dark ones, Yuval fought as a god, killing many circumcised Nephilim with flourish, as he swung his sword with fever. Whoa.
Wow.
You imagine that? Yeah, I mean,
see, the thing, we get little bits and pieces, remember? So Yuval was not from Earth. He had fallen from the heavens like lightning at the beginning of time. So he was an alien.
Yeah.
He was an alien and came from a different place. And when he came to Earth, he brought a flaming sword because of gods we did not know.
Do you think it could have been like a one of them? What's on the lightsaber?
Yeah, well, it definitely could be.
It could have been like a lightsaber.
It could be, definitely. I mean, he swung his sword with favor and was cutting him, I mean, think about it. I mean, if he had a lightsaber, that would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, he came from space. He was an alien. He came here at the beginning, and which was probably thousands of years, so he was one of the first to come here. Interesting, very interesting.
I wonder what the lifespan of the smaller cells was back then.
I don't know. Well, according, if this was the time of Noah, because of the great flood, well, Noah lived like 900 years. So the smaller selves could have been living 800-900 years easy.
Yeah,
and how do we know that the smaller selves didn't come from space too? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay,
really, because that's what it sounded like to me. Possibly, what happened. We colonized this planet.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then we also brought animals from the original planet here.
Yep.
Which could be cattle and pigs, and chickens, and
well, yeah, just like when they came from Europe. Yeah, because of course when we came from Europe, what did we bring with us? Horses, pigs. If you look at Columbus's manifest, he had horses, pigs, chickens, all that kind of stuff that you'd need to get going. He had it with him.
Yeah, but I can't imagine smaller cells wanting to colonize a planet full of giants.
Well, maybe they didn't have a chance. You know, they just fell from the sky like the giants did. They crash landed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I sure like to hear Yuval's whole story.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Yuval has to say here. When Yuval's dark ones left him upon the field of battle in the mud, he woke up surrounded by the army of Nisroth, the friend of Nimrod. Yuval then drove his sword into the belly of Nisroth and was cut down by Nisroth's generals. The sky darkened more upon the death of Yuval. Yuval is the giant whose heart broke the most when the moon child was lost. Yuval's army of 5,000 giants became exceedingly violent and bloodthirsty, choosing to kill the circumcised in such ways as to defile them in life and death. The circumcised Nephilim body parts were piling high above the waters in the field of battle.
Yeah, that's right. It is raining already, isn't it?
Yeah, remember, it started raining as soon as the battle started.
That's right. Okay, I'm waiting for this thing to
Oh yeah,
take a second for it to.
because they're doing this right as the flood. The kind of like the 40 days and 40 nights are coming, and
When Og saw Yuval had been killed, he raised his arms over the field of battle, so it came about when King Og held his hands up that the uncircumcised Rephaim prevailed, and when he let his head down, the circumcised Nephilim prevailed. But King Og's large arms and hands were heavy. So they took a temple pillar and placed it under him. He sat on it. As Agius and Honorius supported his hands, one on one side and one on the other, with Anak, the keeper of the bodies, before Baal supporting them both. Thus King Og's hands were steady in the rain until the dark sun set.
Wow, what magic is that?
Yeah.
I'm putting my hands up, we're winning. Put my hands down, we're losing. Put your hands up. Yeah.
His arms got heavy, got tired of holding his hands up.
Well, think about it. You ever try holding your hands up? How long can you hold your hands up before?
Not very long anymore compared to what I used to be able to.
Well, exactly. It doesn't seem like a hard thing. Hold your hands up. But after a little while, they start getting heavy. They do.
Yeah.
Okay. The rain continued to fall upon the world, for the windows of heaven were completely open. King Og saw that the water and the thunders increased, and that the water was now up to his warriors' midsections or higher. King Og asked that his arms be lowered, and saw the uncircumcised Rephaim still prevailed in the battle. The war continued, and the losses were many. The bodies of the dead floated and drifted within the waters.
At dusk, King Og entered the 100,000 giant war, connected to his floating beast, Gantiqua. King Og connected to his beast become as a wolf. King Og ran through the water and rain to the front lines of the battle. King Og, who was trained in the priesthood of Baal of the moon. King Og, the leader of the uncircumcised Rephaim, to rid the earth of the circumcised and the killers of the moon child. And then King Og released all of his rage upon the circumcised Nephilim, while connected to the Gantiqua, Gantiqua. That's a Gantiqua. Gantiqua fought with the uncircumcised civilians and slew them with a great slaughter. When they fled from him, King Og killed 500 circumcised civilians that day as he made his way toward Nimrod. Wow.
Wow.
What this Gantiqua was.
Yeah, but it was a plot. It says here, it was a floating beast.
Yeah.
Gantiqua. To his floating beast. The Gantiqua.
Like a Leviathan.
And then to his beast, connected to his beast, became as a wolf.
Yeah,
So,
could that have been a Leviathan, you think?
I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up and do some research on that. What is a Gantiqua? The uncircumcised Rephaim pushed Nimrod and his circumcised Nephilim back into his kingdom with their warfare. The rain continued to fall, and the water on the field of battle had turned as red as blood, and the hands of Mot were engaged with the dead. In that day of war, 144,000 circumcised Nephilim warriors died at the hands of King Og and his army. Their bones and flesh were all lost to the water.
Wow, that was a bunch of them. What's the name of the book? The 100,000?
Yeah, 100,000 giant war.
And that's 144,000 right there.
Well, King Og had 100,000 giants because we went, and then I don't know how many the Nephilim had. They had a bunch too. Remember, they said they came out they were as thick as the clouds or smoke or something like that.
Yeah.
It says, then Ankh, the keeper of the bodies, before Baal, found Nimrod in the distance, in the wet darkness. Ankh stood and held ground for King Og, and Nimrod swung his sword, striking Ankh down. Ankh fought with his heart of one who oppresses a stranger, wounding Nimrod's genitals. Again, Nimrod gets wounded in his genitals of all places. But Ankh was no match for Nimrod's strength, and Nimrod broke Ankh's legs and pierced his side with a spear, and immediately his dark ones exited him. And when Ankh cried out with a loud voice, he said, Baal, into your arms I commend my spirit. And having said this, he breathed his last as Nimrod pierced him again. Ankh then died face down in the rising waters. Wasn't Ankh was Og's son, wasn't it? Oh no, that was Ogyus. I'll have to go back and look it up.
And I'm on 85, right?
Yeah, 85.
Uncircumcised Rephaim continued to overwhelm the circumcised Nephilim in battle, and all of Nimrod's smaller selves with the edge of the sword. The slaughter was complete, and the waters were thick with blood of the circumcised. Then Baal of the earth seized King Og in its mind, saying, recite these words to Unzel, the slayer, the smaller self before Baal, and I will utterly blot out the memory of the circumcised and filling them from under heaven. The great waters continued to swell and cover the earth and its one covers a candlestick of the light with tongs, snuff dishes, and snuff dishes, and all of the oil vessels thereof. Wow.
Huh. So he's going to just repeat these words, Baal says, and I'm going to help you out. Right? So King Og then stepped forward, and he and Nimrod wrestled in the heavy waters of the night rain with no weapons. And when King Og saw that he prevailed not against Nimrod, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Nimrod's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Then Nimrod reached into the water and found a tent spike, and he desired to drive it through King Og's head. King Og then pulled Nimrod's loincloth, exposing his severely wounded member. King Og was dumbfounded by Nimrod's carved loins and stopped fighting. Well, what would cause a male to circumcise his member? He demanded. Okay, you're up.
Turn the page.
Yep.
The circumcised is the truth that I am the father of all. Let all males who circumcise their members be the descendants of Nimrod. And ever since that day in the rain, all males who cut the foreskin or who have had it cut gave all glory and honor to Nimrod. I ain't never given any glory or honor to Nimrod.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way.
And I'm kind of upset that I was circumcised.
I agree. You do it when you, yeah. That's all I can say is I agree. I don't even know like talking about, but I agree.
Yeah, I might have to put a conditional acceptance lien in that hospital.
Right.
All right. Disgusted at ball of the moon strengthened the King Og, saying, I am ball of the moon, whom you aren't. It goes well for you to kick against the pricks.
And there's where we got
where that word come from.
That's right. We know how that happened. And King Og overpowered Nimrod, and with a belt gave him 40 stripes. King Og beat him about his wounded member because Nimrod was vile. Then Nimrod stabbed King Og suddenly and proceeded to stab King Og in the back with a knife many times. Nimrod then stood above King Og, taunting and gesturing to his land and his army in the rain. All this I will give you if you will allow me to kneel before you to be forgiven for the murder of your daughter, the moon child. I would rather be a servant at the footstool in your kingdom than to have what is left of my kingdom at war with you.
And the rain fell so strongly that Og and Nimrod tired of that combat. And the battle between Og and Nimrod ended for that time because the world was covered in water. And wounded Nimrod wounded King Og, Amzal, and Agith, and the remaining giants began the arduous climb into the mountains to escape the waters. Are the tales of the other battles of giants not told in the scrolls of the war of giants in the mountains? Wow, that must have thinned out the numbers too.
Oh yeah, well they killed, the blood ran as, the river of blood. Well, I don't know, you know what I mean.
You're not gonna fit with so many giants on the mountaintop.
That's right. You only got so many giants can fit up there. And the water's rising, so the mountain's getting smaller. Now it's an island. Okay. The Lost Book of King Og, Chapter 5, the final battle with Nimrod. Okay, editor's note. All known copies of the Lost Book of King Og have a break in text at this point. The speculation is that because it is the first chapter directly after the flood, that somehow record keeping was lax in some way. Interesting things happen at this point of the text. In a sense, the struggle between the two transcribers of this tomb ends. Ankh, who was the original transcriber, has his death marked in chapter 4. From this point on in this book, the tone changes, and this is because of the new transcriber, Ansel. Though Ansel must have transcribed most of it, not all of the 100,000 Giant War, which introduces the idea that perhaps there was yet a third transcriber of King Og's words. Most of chapter 5 is missing. Fortunately, King Og's final physical battle with Nimrod has been recorded, as you will see. To the end, we apologize for this heavy break in both continuity and translation. Outside of the death of Nimrod, the key factor of this chapter is that both King Og and his son Ogulus are participating in the killing of Nimrod. This leaves both chapters 6 and 7 with the most question of which Og is the story now following. This almost answers the question of King Og's ridiculous longevity, because the timeline could very well be split between King Og and his warrior son, Father Martin and Demmon, April 2016, Santa Cruz, California, USA.
Wow.
Oops.
The final battle between King Og and Nimrod.
Huh.
Rage. Huh?
Well, I guess that makes sense. You know, so
Yeah.
Og continued on through his father because his father got killed. I don't know. Yeah, might be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, King Og could be
Argus,
really,
isn't it?
really. Yeah. Agus.
And so he just took on his father's name, just shortened his name to Og.
That's right.
Must have.
Back in those days, you know, you could do that, and you'd take on your father's name
Argus Jr.
to honor them or something, you know.
Yeah, Og Jr. What if they called him Junior?
I don't think they did that.
AJR. With rage is he blind. With rage attacked Nimrod, hit and died with great power. And King Og grabbed it for Nimrod by his genitals and fruit from the vine, as fruit from the vine, blood pits. Nimrod became slick and unable to hold. And Nimrod reached forward and blinded Og, pulling the jelly from the ice from the socket. Og, wounded, retreated. Nimrod stood before King Og, taunting and singing, saying the following: "You need knowledge, King Og, and here it is, to know evil and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of evil, justice, judgment, and equality, equity, to give prudence to the simple, to the young, giant, knowledge and weaponry. The wise giant will hear and increase learning, and the giant of understanding will attain wicked counsel. To understand an incantation and enigma." Okay, you go ahead.
Okay. Turn the page.
Huh.
The world of the wise and their riddles. The fear of circumcision is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise evil and instruction. My giant, hear the instruction of circumcision, and do not forsake the law of your member, for they will be graceful ornament on your head and chains about your neck. My giant, if the uncircumcised entice you, do not consent. If they say, "Come with us," let us lie in wait to shed circumcised blood. Let us lurk secretly for the circumcised without cause. Let us swallow them alive like moth, and whole like those who go down to dwell with him. We shall find all kinds of precious possessions. We shall fill our houses with spoils. Cast your long your lot among the uncircumcised. Let us all have one purse. You take up here. I'll switch the page.
Okay, hold on. Okay. My God, do not walk in the way with them. Keep your foot from the uncircumcised path, for their feet run into bad ideas, and they make haste to keep the skins of their own members. Surely in vain the net is spread, but they lay in wait for their own blood. They lurk secretly in their own lives. So are the ways of the uncircumcised, who are greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners.
Upon hearing this, Og cried out to Ball of the Moon, saying, Nimrod has smitten me, and my race is so low, so low. He has taken your gift, the moon child, and he has defiled you ever since with false prophecies and lies upon lies. And now he has taken my eye. If the moon child was as sacred to you as she was to me, please give me my sight back. And at that moment, a beam from the moon shone into the hollowness of King Og's empty eye socket, and it was filled with the moon's glow. From then on, Og's eye was refilled, and then Og attacked and subdued Nimrod. Og stood above Nimrod and screamed, Ogalis, I require that you partake in the end of the circumcision.
That's next page. Then Agius entered the blood pit of fall of the earth. And Agius stepped forward and pulled at the head and the skull of Nimrod, as King Og pulled at the knuckles or ankles. And Nimrod's neck gave first. And Agius wrenched it free. And as Nimrod's flesh tore, he gave up the ghost and was eaten with worms. And Agius and King Og, in celebration, the great dragon of all, the pit and the fire in preparation.
So they literally pulled him apart.
Yeah.
They were strong ass men, giants.
Well, weren't they taller, bigger than Nimrod?
I don't know. I have no idea if they were taller, but wow. So look at this. So King Og says, prayed to Ball of the Moon, and a glow filled his eye socket, and his eyes. He grew his eye back right then and there.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, you're up.
Okay, this is chapter 6. Prophecy of Bashan's rule. Chapter 6 is told by Anzal, the slayer of the smaller cells, before Ball of the Moon. It came to pass that the kingdom and army of Og fasted before their march to Bashan. On the 5th day of fasting, the whole of Og's encampment was covered in smoke, and fire came down. The fire struck the sacrifices in the high places, because Ball of the sun and Ball of the earth were there. The ground of the temple and the paths leading to it became charged with the 5th day. On the 5th day, with the presence of Ball of the earth and Ball of the sun. Many Rephaim attempted to climb the hill at the time of Og's prophecy, and were struck dead with fire when they touched the charged ground. Wow. I wonder what was doing that. I just wanted to have maybe had spaceships or satellites or something like that. I see you locked up, buddy. I'll keep reading.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just shut right down on me. I touched it, and I shouldn't have touched it.
Yeah, I was going to do like you said. Hey, Al Sorella.
There we go.
Linda Brooks is in here. I'm so happy to see all the Amber Don Rising. It's good to see you all.
Hey, Amber. How you doing? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now we're back on track. I touched my computer's touchy. I got a new one ordered. Nah, you know. Anyway, yeah, Amber's in the house. Big Al, Scotty boy. Let's see who else has been in. Lucky Smith, Linda Brooks. Man, we've been missing it. Regine Hutchelson, I know that. Oh man. Sorry, I can't keep up. But we're just trying to get this book read. Okay. Yeah. Don't touch it, Scotty boy. Okay, yeah, I'll go blind. Okay. Well, here we go. You're up.
On that day, in the temple of Baal of the earth, Og received the prophecy. On that day, Og's eyes whitened, and he fell into the solemn forecaster trance. King Og of the temple became Baal, and the earth's medium. On that day, Og's voice became as that of iron, so that all that were near were struck by it. Wow. That sounds like that story Chris said today on
yeah. Like I said, I think all of this has got some kind of connection.
Yeah. Remember what Chris was saying on Wayne's channel today about talking to those spirits and seeing them when he closed his eyes, but when he opened them, he seen he was in his own room.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know, that's pretty cool. And see here, the temple became earth medium. Yeah, Baal of the earth was the medium on that day. Og's voice became as that of iron. Wow, that's pretty neat. Behind the hill, and Og's prophets were struck dead with fire. Wow. Okay. Og, king of the Rephaim, survivor of the great waters, killer of Nimrod, and born of the priesthood of Baal of the moon, spoke the words of Baal. Og spoke the prophecy before the march to Bashan, the prophecy of the rules and the wrath of Baal and the curses upon the barriers of Bashan. Do they not follow as spoken by Og and transcribed by Anzel, the slayer of smaller self?
Hey, Big Al, I see you in there.
What?
I know you got me laughing hard about right now.
Big Al is cool. You gotta admit that. He's cool.
All right. I'm on number 10 here. Yeah. Baal of the earth agrees with his vessel King Og preceding. Honor the higher places that worship Baal of the earth. Only the priest will be admitted to the high places. Anyone that has touched the mount or its border, whosoever touches it as he lives will surely be sacrificed to Baal of the earth. Before he is burned, he will be stoned and run through with a spear. Wow.
Never so good. Never so good.
Oh man. See, where was I at now? You moved.
Yeah, you're right at the end. The testimony of testimony.
Yeah, the testimony. That's 13.
Yeah.
Okay, the testimony of such details will be kept in the high places of worship. The high places of worship will be covered with gold inside and out, and the gold crown and the rim or border around the top. Rings will be attached to the outer walls for worship chains and bracelets, and slaves will be put into the rings for the Rephaim to carry the high place to its next resting place in Bashan. Wow, doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah, the high places of worship be covered with gold inside. No crown, rim the border around the top. Sounds like the ark.
Yeah. Never forget the unspoken mistake. Well, they did.
Yeah. Okay, I am Ball of the Earth, who brought you victory in the 100,000 giant war, who brought you out of the waters of death and bondage and the slavery of the older world. Okay, you want me to read this one or you want to go?
Behold, any Rephaim that sacrifices to any other god save Baal of the earth, Baal of the moon, Baal of the sun, or Baal of the stars and celestial bodies, or Mot, is cursed. If a Rephaim worships Mot, let it be to dishonor him in a pathway to the worship of Baal of the earth. Any Rephaim that sacrifices to another insect-sized god will be utterly destroyed with the wrath that waxes hot. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We missed something there. Insect-sized god.
Yeah. I've seen that. Insect-sized god. What would that be?
Yeah, that's a good thought.
A fairy?
No, we're talking about a god who pretend god, you know what I mean? And they're using insect as small, but I think, this is my opinion only, is that if you're an insect, you're insignificant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's talking about an insignificant god that's compared to the ball, because Ball of the Earth is huge and the moon is huge, stars are huge, but an insect is small and worthless. So he's talking about an insignificant. It'd be like them making a bull of gold and saying, we're going to worship this golden cow, you know what I'm saying? Or we're going to make a serpent deity and we're going to worship the serpent deity, right?
Yeah.
Well, the serpent isn't anything compared to what the earth is, or the moon is, or the stars are. So it's insect size.
Yeah, there's some more about him in the next
paragraph. Yeah. Okay. Any Rephaim that brings other gods before me, I will spill his fecal entrails out on the path. Any of you Rephaim who worship others will be cut down with the sword and sacrificed with flames, and your sacrifice shall be eaten by your fellow giants.
Oh man!
Wow! So so basically, he's saying, you know what? He sounds like the God of the Bible.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, you worship one God, Baal, and if you don't worship me, you're going to hell. You're going in flames, and you're going to be eaten. And yeah,
wasn't there a priest or a bishop or something that was involved in writing
this book? Yeah. Okay, you're up. 21. Okay.
Behold, you uncircumcised Rephaim, do not cut your members with circumcision as those that worship insect gods do. If a giant breaks covenant with his loins by cutting them, Baal will break my covenant with him. It is an abomination to have a mangled member. Any Rephaim who cuts his own member with circumcision shall also be forever be cut off from Baal of the earth. Will his torn flesh ever grow back and cover? No. Nor will Baal welcome that giant back or cover him with protection. Baal of the earth will deal treachery with him. wrongful hostility will be his existence. Baal, the sun, will turn away from him and burn him. And as a farmer turns from a degenerate crop and emoliates the field. Oh man, that just don't sound too good for circumcised.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But this almost sounds like, Bible stuff. Hey, you do as I say, we're going to throw you in hell, and if you break my covenant with you, you're also going to hell for everybody. It's like being in school. Hey, that guy threw the spit wad. You're all getting detention. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I will appoint overall carved loins, Rephaim, in sudden terror, consumption, and fever that will waste the eyes and cause the soul. Turn the page. To pine away. Whatever profit a circumcised Rephaim seeks to secure, his enemies will eat away. All this and more will be visited upon those giants who stubbornly choose to mar their loins. For the wages for circumcision are death, but the gift of intact loins is life. Circumcision for any purpose is an abomination, for there is no purpose. The carving of loins is a visible curse upon the Rephaim who chooses it. A useless, shortened vessel is an abomination to the giant that owns it.
You think this could just be some guys, like King Og just didn't like the idea of circumcision, so he made all the stuff up about Baal not breaking it.
I don't know. That's a lot of, making up to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, it's just like, men wanting to check themselves, by passing the blame to God.
That is true. That is true.
Or the devil, or whatever,
Yeah. All right, you're up. 30.
When the circumcised giants sprouted throughout the lands like grass, and all who religiously cut their members flourished, it was so that Baal could destroy them furthermore. Baal the earth will bring back their curse of circumcision upon them and utterly destroy them and their corrupted members. Baal the earth will visit destruction upon them, and Baal the sun will consume their corrupted members and foreskin. Baal the sun is revealed from beyond against the unrighteous circumcised giants that stand before Og and are a barrier before fashion. Wow.
Boy, he's just laying it on heavier and heavier, isn't he?
Yeah, that's pretty thick.
Don't never forget the unspoken mistake. Make idols of Baal. Make them of silver and gold. Make graven images to Baal at the base of high places. Make graven images of Baal that are of heaven above, or that is in the water that is beneath the earth, or of the earth itself. Inscribe upon them the outer walls of the temple and upon the sacred swords and runes of Baal. Make an altar in the high place to sacrifice only the smaller selves' children. Build an altar of hewn stone. Lift the stones with a fist of rock or rock. Sacrifice only the lives of the children of the smaller selves on the altar. Eat the burned morsels, and no pollution shall come of it if you fear Baal of the earth.
Wow.
Well, now we get why they're always sacrificing children.
Yep.
Makes you wonder, are they still sacrificing to Baal and doing these things?
I bet they are. I bet it's done right down in the basement of the Vatican.
Probably.
And probably
Okay.
a few other places around the world, you know.
All right. Well, finish this page up and we'll call it good for tonight.
If you own a smaller self male and do not eat him for 6 years, then on the 7th, he can take the smaller self priestess as a wife. 6th year or 7th?
Only if you don't eat them.
7 years old?
Well, that doesn't mean that because they're already children. So,
Yeah.
so you're adding 6 years, 7 years onto say, say up to children would be, I don't know, what would you call a child up to maybe about 12, and then add 6 years, that's 18.
Maybe they did the smaller cells like we do our dogs.
Yeah, could be.
7 years to one of ours.
Could be.
Yeah. Okay. If the smaller self wife bears a male child by him, the male infant is to be sacrificed with fire. The smaller self wife bears a female child. The female child will be spared to become a priestess or sorceress in the high places. If Baal is to be known, he must first know you. If Baal is to be approached, bring a sacrifice of life worthy of him. If you are to be heard by Baal, you must open your throat and grovel.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Okay, we'll leave off there. This is page 85.
Yeah.
So we'll have one more.
20 pages.
Yeah, we'll have one more. We'll have one more week of this, and then we should finish up. We'll definitely finish up next week.
All right. We'll figure out something else to read.
Put a bookmark in there.
I did.
And,
it's bookmark.
all right, sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good. I see everybody. Now I can see the chat. Lucky Smith says, "How convenient! Wrapped up in a nice little package. Ready? Sorry, it sounds." All right, and Scratch is in the house. Hey, Mary wins.
Hey, Scratch.
Mary wins. We all win. Mary, did you get your book? She wanted a book, and I sent her a book. Amber Dawn. Hey, Amber. I gotta get you on again one of these days. I'm hoping to soon. I'd like to have Amber. I'd like to have you come on for that Atlantis show. I'm going to do part 2. I'm going to have a couple different parts.
What book is Mary Wynn's getting?
I had a big, thick book from Manly P. Hall. I'd ordered 2 of them, and by accident, I got one. I was like, oh, shoot, I already ordered it. I already had it on my shelf, and I didn't know it. So anyway, that's how it goes, you know.
Yeah.
So you forget what you're doing. But anyway, we've had a good night, read a lot of stuff, found out that King Og, he finally caught up with Nimrod and tore him in half, him and Augias.
Yeah.
This is as good as a movie. I wish I had cartoons to play with, make a skit out of it or something,
Yeah. I mean, that was a battle right there. That would have raveled the one on Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Amber, if you want to come on, I haven't figured out what I want to do for Saturday night yet, but if you're open for Saturday, I'd be up for it. This Saturday. I've been behind on the times, but I got to get my mind focused for tomorrow. It's been raining here for 2 days. Well, it was nice yesterday, but it rained again today like cats and dogs, and we don't get rain here very much. It's crazy. And the day before we had rain and the snow's melting. Everything is wet here. It's like a muck, muddy. Wow.
Is there any forest around you?
Forest? No, we don't have trees here. This is like barren wasteland.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, Lucky. David Null could do a puppet show on this for sure. Be the change you want to see. Be the frequency you want to receive, Al. Be the frequency you want to receive.
Well,
But
we also mirror, we mirror ourselves,
yes, we do.
And so be the reflection you want to see.
Yeah, Scotty says, get the mushrooms out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah. Thank you, Mary Winds.
I've never done mushrooms. Raining here in heavy in British Columbia. Yes. But anyway, it's been a great night. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, ISBE, for being my co-host tonight. And this was a great
read. Having me,
I hope everybody gets out there, buys your own copy of the Lost Book of King Og. This was it's a really good read. Read it over again. There's lots of hidden clues and things in there. I got a few more giant books. I know next week we'll finish up that last 10 pages. It's going to go fast. I tell you, it'll go fast. And so I'll have a few extra things. I've been doing some research on King Og and the Basham, his empire, and finding out all the all the stuff that's goes along with it. King Og was a real guy. He was written about in the Bible too. And so this story could be very true. And he was killed by Moses and his army. And we all think that, Moses was a good guy and everything, but he was doing the bidding of somebody, and that somebody didn't like King Og. So who knows what was going on?
I was kind of thinking it was King Og that told Moses how to build the ark.
No, it wasn't. No, he did not.
And I can't see Nimrod's people doing that.
No, somebody did. But we're gonna do a little research on this because the animals came 2 by 2. Remember, 2 by 2.
Yeah, there had been somebody else, maybe an alien race that was involved in that.
Well, I think from reading this book there that the giants were aliens, and I think that maybe we were too. We all came from above, and we've just forgotten.
Oh yeah, Brandy Robinson's in the house. Hello, Brandy. Good to see you.
Yeah, Scotty boy, he says the horses will talk to you. Yeah, I think at one point, according to my Indians, myths and legends stuff, the animals could talk, but then at some point we screwed up and then we couldn't talk to the animals.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Ed, man.
Yeah.
Horse is a horse, of course. No one can talk to a horse, of course. It is, of course, unless it's famous Mr. Ed.
That's right. Yeah. Yay! Give me a big hand. That was a good one.
Song by heart.
Yeah, I did. I love that show.
Me too. I used to laugh at that, at Mr. Ed.
Nimrod is allegedly buried under CERN. Allegedly. I don't think he's buried under CERN. I think maybe he was. I'm going to look up where the Bashan Empire was, and I'm going to do some research on it. And if anybody else finds out anything on the Nimrod stuff or the King Og, and you find some good links or some good videos or something like that you want to share with me, my email is down below, milkywaysoultribe@gmail.com, and give me a shout out, send me a link, send me an email, tell me where you found the stuff. I would love to do find, because I get focused on one thing or another, and then I don't, but I'd like other stuff. So, and there's Brandy Robinson. Haven't seen Brandy Robinson in a while. Thank you for coming. All right, Linda Brooks and Mary Wins. Oh, she says thank. Oh yeah. Well, Mary, I hope you enjoy that book. It's filled with so much stuff. That book is so thick. It'll take you a year of Sundays to just get through a few pages, I swear. And with that, ISBE, you got any good last words for everybody?
Well, prosperity and favor is upon us all together. Just remember that. I love you all. It's great being here, and I had a lot of fun. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. Well, anytime. Meaning next week. Next week, same place, same time. Remember, everybody, be the frequency you want to receive. I love you all. Peace, everybody. And there we go.